What sound does your life make? Listen closely. Beneath the noise of the everyday, the endless scroll, the demands and distractions, what is the true rhythm of your existence? Is it the timid whisper of hesitation, the sigh of resignation, the frantic, scattered beat of a life lived by default? Or is there something else? Something deeper, stronger, waiting to be unleashed? Is there a roar? The roar of intention. The resonant drumbeat of a life lived deliberately on purpose. Because right now, in this very moment, the clock is ticking. Not towards an end, but towards a beginning. The beginning of your legacy. Forget the marble statues and the history books for a moment. Legacy isn't something left behind, only when you are gone. It's not a passive inheritance. It's an active creation. It's the echo you send out into the world. With every choice, every action, every breath you take today. Your legacy isn't waiting for you at the finish line. It's being forged in the fire of this present moment. It begins now, and the foundation of that legacy, the bedrock upon which everything else is built, the energy that turns timid whispers into defiant roars, is unshakable purpose. But what is purpose? It's not a job title. It's not a destination on a map. It's not a fleeting desire or a temporary goal. Purpose is the magnetic north of your soul. It's the why that gets you out of bed when the world tells you to stay down. It's the deep inner conviction that your life matters, that you have a unique contribution to make a unique song to sing. It's the unwavering answer to the question, why are you here? Too many wander through life like ships adrift at sea, tossed by the waves of circumstance, guided by the shifting winds of opinion, reacting instead of acting. They hope for a favorable current, pray for a distant shore, but they haven't set their own course. They haven't chosen their destination. They haven't engaged the engine of their own will, fueled by the power of purpose. They exist, but they don't truly live. They leave behind not a legacy, but a question mark. This is not your path, not anymore. The very fact that you are listening, that something resonates within you, proves you are ready for more. Ready to trade the mapeless drift for deliberate navigation. Ready to exchange the whisper for the roar. Ready to claim the power that resides within you. The power to live with unshakable purpose. It starts, as all great transformations do, within the hidden landscape of your mind. Your thoughts are not idle passengers. They are the architects of your reality. What you hold in your mind, what you dwell upon, what you believe with unwavering conviction, that is what manifests in your life. Think of the mind as fertile ground. Left untended, weeds of doubt, fear, and limitation will inevitably sprout, choking the potential for growth. But cultivate it deliberately, plant seeds of possibility, water them with belief, and shield them with focus. And you can grow a garden of extraordinary achievement. Henry Ford, a man who revolutionized industries and reshaped the modern world, famously said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." This isn't just a clever phrase, it's a fundamental law of human potential. Your belief system sets the boundaries of your accomplishment. If you believe you are destined for mediocrity, you will unconsciously sabotage opportunities, shy away from challenges, and fulfill your own limiting prophecy. If you truly believe that you possess the capacity for greatness, that you can overcome obstacles, that you are worthy of success, and capable of creating a meaningful legacy, then you unlock the door to a different reality. This isn't about empty affirmations or wishful thinking. This is about rewiring the very core of your perception. It's about challenging the narratives you've inherited or unconsciously adopted. Narratives that whisper, "You're not good enough, not smart enough, not ready." It's about consciously choosing a new narrative, one grounded in your inherent worth and limitless potential. Look at the giants upon whose shoulders we stand. Thomas Edison didn't see 10,000 failures in his quest for the light bulb. He saw 10,000 steps on the path to success. Each attempt wasn't a dead end. It was data information, a refinement of his approach fueled by an unshakable belief in the possibility of his vision. His mindset refused to accept defeat. His purpose, to bring light to the world, burned brighter than any temporary setback. He cultivated his mental garden, weeding out despair and planting seeds of relentless persistence. Your mind, too, holds this power. The power to frame setbacks not as failures, but as feedback. The power to see obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth and innovation. The power to silence the inner critic and amplify the voice of conviction. This internal shift is the essential first step. Before you can build a legacy in the outer world, you must first construct the unwavering belief within your inner world that it is possible. You must become the gatekeeper of your own mind, consciously choosing thoughts that empower, that align with your highest aspirations, that fuel the fire of your burgeoning purpose. This internal fortitude, this cultivated belief is the engine. But an engine, no matter how powerful, needs direction. Belief without clarity is energy scattered, potential wasted. It's like knowing you have the strength to lift a great weight, but having no idea what you want to lift or where you want to move it. You possess the capacity but lack the target. This is where the vital necessity of clarity enters the equation. You must define with piercing precision what it is you truly desire. What does a life lived with purpose look like for you? Forget vague notions of success or happiness. These are clouds shifting and undefined. Clarity demands specifics. What impact do you want to make? What values will guide your decisions? What kind of person do you aspire to become? What specific goals, both large and small, will serve as milestones on your journey? Clarity cuts through the fog of ambiguity. It transforms a general longing into a defined destination. Think of Napoleon Hill, who spent decades studying the most successful individuals of his time. A core principle he uncovered was the necessity of a definite chief aim. Not a vague wish, but a clear, concise statement of purpose written down, visualized, and obsessed over. This wasn't just a mental exercise. It was a focusing mechanism. It aligned their thoughts, directed their actions, and magnetized the resources they needed. It gave them a target to aim for, a reason to persevere through the inevitable storms. Getting clear isn't always easy. It requires introspection. It demands honesty, sometimes brutal honesty, about what truly matters to you, not what society, family, or peers expect of you. It involves silencing the external noise and listening to the quiet, persistent whispers of your own heart. What activities make you lose track of time? What problems in the world stir your passion? What unique talents or skills do you possess that you yearn to express more fully? Where does your deep gladness meet the world's deep hunger? This process might involve journaling, meditation, seeking counsel from trusted mentors, or simply dedicating quiet time to reflect. It's about peeling back layers of conditioning and obligation to uncover the authentic core of your desires and aspirations. Don't be afraid to dream big, but also don't neglect the power of starting small. Clarity can begin with defining the next right step, the immediate goal that aligns with your larger vision. Imagine a sculptor facing a raw block of marble. They don't just start chipping away randomly. They have a vision, perhaps faint at first, but becoming clearer as they study the stone, of the form hidden within. Clarity is that vision. It guides the sculptor's hand, informs each strike of the chisel, and prevents wasted effort. Without that clear vision, the marble remains just a block of stone, its potential unrealized. Your life is that block of marble. Clarity is the vision that allows you to sculpt your masterpiece, your legacy. And as clarity sharpens, something profound happens. It ignites your vision. Vision isn't just seeing what is, it's seeing what could be. It's the ability to paint a compelling picture of the future in your mind's eye. A future where your purpose is realized, your goals are achieved, your legacy is taking shape. This vision becomes a powerful magnet pulling you forward, especially when motivation wanes or obstacles arise. It's the mental rehearsal for success, the preview of coming attractions that keeps you focused and inspired. Walt Disney possessed an almost mythical ability to hold on to his vision even when facing bankruptcy, skepticism, and seemingly insurmountable odds. He didn't just see a cartoon mouse. He saw a kingdom, a world of wonder, a source of joy for millions. That vision fueled his relentless drive, inspired his team, and allowed him to build an empire from the ashes of near failure. He lived in the reality of his vision long before it manifested externally. Cultivate your vision. Make it vivid. Engage all your senses. What does your purposeful future look like, feel like, sound like? Who are you with? What are you doing? What impact are you having? Write it down. Create a vision board. Speak about it as if it's already happening. The more real and compelling your vision becomes in your mind, the more magnetic its pull will be on your actions and the circumstances around you. Clarity defines the target. Vision brings the target to life, making it irresistible. This focused energy born from clarity and ignited by vision naturally coalesces around your core, your unshakable purpose. Purpose, then, is not a passive discovery, but an active commitment, clarified by introspection and illuminated by vision. It's the intersection of your deepest values, your unique talents, and a need you feel called to meet in the world. It's the why that transcends circumstance. It's the anchor in the storm, the compass in the wilderness. When you live with purpose, your life takes on a different quality. Decisions become easier, guided by your internal compass. Priorities become clearer. Distractions lose their power. You are no longer merely existing, you are advancing. Finding your purpose isn't about discovering one single grand, predetermined destiny handed down from above. For many, purpose evolves, it deepens. It takes different forms at different stages of life. It might be found in raising a family with intention, in mastering a craft, in building a business that solves a problem, in advocating for a cause, in creating art that inspires, in mentoring others, or simply in showing up each day with integrity and kindness. The scale of your purpose is less important than the conviction with which you pursue it. Think of Abraham Lincoln. His purpose evolved throughout his life. Early on, it was self-improvement, learning, establishing himself. Later, it became preserving the Union, a purpose so profound it demanded immense sacrifice and guided him through the nation's darkest hours. His purpose wasn't static, but it was always deeply held, providing the moral and spiritual strength to endure unimaginable pressure. His legacy wasn't accidental. It was the direct result of aligning his life with a powerful, evolving purpose. Living with purpose infuses your actions with meaning. The mundane becomes significant when it serves a larger aim. Answering emails, attending meetings, practicing scales, making sales calls. These aren't just tasks. They are steps on the path, contributions to the larger vision. Purpose transforms drudgery into devotion. It provides context. It provides the why. Without this why, discipline feels like punishment. Action feels like a burden. Resilience feels impossible. Why push through discomfort if there's no compelling reason? Why get back up after falling if the journey has no meaning? Purpose is the fuel. It's the reason you keep going when exhausted, the reason you face fear, the reason you choose the harder right over the easier wrong. It's the source of intrinsic motivation, far more powerful and sustainable than any external reward or pressure. So ask yourself again, why are you here? What truly matters to you? What contribution are you uniquely positioned to make? Don't wait for a lightning bolt of revelation. Start where you are. Look at your passions, your skills, your frustrations with the status quo. Purpose often hides in plain sight, disguised as a persistent curiosity, a nagging problem, or a quiet desire to serve. Embrace the exploration. Commit to living into the answer. Because when you align your life with a purpose that resonates deep within your soul, you tap into a source of energy, resilience, and fulfillment that is truly unshakable. This purpose becomes the heartbeat of your legacy, driving every action that follows. But purpose, however clear and compelling, remains dormant without the spark of action. Vision without execution is merely hallucination. Belief without behavior is self-deception. Clarity without commitment is intellectual indulgence. The bridge between the internal world of purpose and the external world of results is built with the bricks of consistent, deliberate action. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where legacy moves from concept to reality. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards results, and results only come from doing the work. It sounds simple, almost insultingly so. Yet it's the place where so many dreams falter and die. We get stuck in planning, in learning, in waiting for the perfect moment, the right conditions, the guarantee of success. But perfection is a myth, and waiting is a trap. The only way to build momentum is to start moving, however imperfectly. Inertia is a powerful force. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. The hardest part of any endeavor is often overcoming that initial inertia. Making the first call, writing the first paragraph, taking the first step into the gym, having the first difficult conversation. But once you break that inertia, another powerful force comes into play: momentum. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. Small actions repeated consistently build upon each other, creating a positive feedback loop that makes subsequent action easier. Think of the Wright brothers. They didn't just dream of flight. They didn't just theorize. They went to Kitty Hawk day after day, month after month, year after year, and they built. They experimented. They crashed. They repaired. They refined. They took relentless action, learning from each failure, each small success, until that windy day in 1903 when their purposeful action finally lifted them and humanity into the sky. Their legacy wasn't born of a single breakthrough, but of countless hours of dedicated, persistent action. Action requires courage. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, facing the possibility of failure, judgment, and rejection. It means choosing progress over procrastination. But courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting despite the fear. It's recognizing that the discomfort of action is temporary, while the pain of regret of potential unrealized can last a lifetime. Each time you act in alignment with your purpose, despite fear or uncertainty, you build your courage muscle. You prove to yourself that you are capable, that you can handle challenges, that you are committed to your path. Action must also be focused. Busyness is not the same as effectiveness. You can spend your days frantically spinning your wheels, responding to every notification, tackling every minor task that screams for attention, yet make no meaningful progress towards your core purpose. Purposeful action means distinguishing between the urgent and the important. It means identifying the vital few activities that will produce the greatest results aligned with your vision and dedicating your best energy to those activities. It requires saying no to distractions, setting boundaries, and protecting your time and focus. This deliberate application of effort, this focused channeling of energy towards your purpose-driven goals, requires a crucial companion: discipline. Discipline is not about restriction or punishment. It's about liberation. It's the ability to do what you should do even when you don't feel like doing it. It's the bridge between goals and accomplishment. While motivation is fleeting, discipline is the reliable engine that keeps you moving forward day in and day out. Discipline is choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. It's the commitment to your future self. It's showing up for your workout when the couch beckons. It's making the prospecting calls when you fear rejection. It's sticking to your writing schedule when inspiration feels distant. It's managing your finances responsibly when impulse buys tempt you. Discipline is the conscious, deliberate practice of aligning your actions with your intentions regardless of your mood or external circumstances. Think of the ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome. He didn't rule by whim or emotion. He lived by a disciplined code, focusing on what was within his control, his thoughts, his judgments, his actions, and accepting what was not. His meditations, essentially personal reminders of his Stoic principles, reveal a man constantly striving for self-discipline, virtue, and purposeful action, even amidst the immense pressures of his position. His legacy is one of wisdom and resilience forged through disciplined practice. Discipline isn't innate. It's a skill, a muscle that strengthens with use. Start small. Identify one key habit that supports your purpose and commit to practicing it consistently. Track your progress. Celebrate small wins. Forgive yourself for occasional lapses, but get back on track immediately. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. It's building reliable systems and routines that automate positive behaviors and reduce reliance on willpower, which is a finite resource. As you build discipline, you build self-respect. You prove to yourself that you are someone who follows through, someone who honors their commitments, someone whose word to themselves actually matters. This self-trust is invaluable. It fuels further action, strengthens belief, and reinforces your sense of purpose. Action and discipline are the twin engines that propel you forward on the path to your legacy. They transform intention into reality, potential into achievement. They are the non-negotiable requirements for anyone serious about living a life of unshakable purpose. And yet amidst the drive, the discipline, the relentless action towards your purpose, there is a subtle power often overlooked that provides essential ballast and perspective: gratitude. It might seem counterintuitive. How can focusing on what you have propel you towards what you want? But gratitude is not passive contentment. It is an active force, a source of profound strength and resilience. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. In a world constantly telling us what we're missing, what we need to acquire next, gratitude anchors us in the present reality of our blessings, however small they may seem. It acknowledges the progress already made, the resources already available, the support systems already in place. This doesn't diminish ambition. It fuels it from a place of fullness, not scarcity. When you operate from a mindset of abundance, you attract more abundance. When you appreciate what you have, you become a magnet for more things to appreciate. Think about it. How can you build a magnificent future if you cannot appreciate the foundation you stand upon today? How can you attract greater opportunities if you are blind to the opportunities already surrounding you? Gratitude opens your eyes. It reveals the hidden gifts in everyday life, the lessons and challenges, the strength gained from past struggles, the simple joys that sustain the human spirit. Dale Carnegie himself emphasized the importance of appreciating others, of expressing sincere gratitude. He understood that acknowledging the good in others and in one's own life fosters positive relationships and a more positive mental attitude, both crucial for success and well-being. Expressing gratitude isn't just a nicety. It rewires your brain to look for the good, counteracting the negativity bias that can so easily derail progress. Practicing gratitude doesn't require grand gestures. It can be as simple as starting or ending your day by mentally listing 3 things you are thankful for. It can be expressing sincere appreciation to someone who helped you. It can be consciously savoring a simple pleasure, a warm cup of coffee, a moment of quiet, the beauty of nature. These small acts practiced consistently cultivate a deep sense of perspective. This perspective is vital when facing adversity, when setbacks occur, when progress stalls. Gratitude provides context. It reminds you of your inner resources, your past triumphs, the support you possess. It prevents temporary difficulties from overshadowing the bigger picture. It fosters resilience by reminding you that even in challenging times, there are still things to be thankful for, strengths to draw upon. A grateful heart is less likely to succumb to despair or bitterness. Moreover, gratitude fuels generosity and connection. When you recognize the good you have received, you are more inclined to share your own gifts, to contribute to others, to lift people up. This outward focus, born from inner appreciation, strengthens your sense of purpose and expands your positive influence, weaving stronger threads into the tapestry of your legacy. Don't mistake gratitude for complacency. It's not about settling for less than you are capable of. It's about appreciating the journey, recognizing the value of the present moment, and building your future on a foundation of positive recognition, not frustrated striving. Integrate gratitude into your daily rhythm. Let it temper your ambition with humility, fuel your discipline with appreciation, and infuse your actions with a quiet strength. It is the silent partner to purpose, the steadying hand that ensures your climb towards your legacy is not just successful, but also meaningful and joyous. This groundedness prepares you for the inevitable turbulence, the storms that test the strength of your purpose and the quality of your resolve. Because the path to any worthwhile legacy is never a straight, smooth highway. It's a winding road, often unpaved, filled with unexpected detours, sudden storms, and sheer cliffs. Challenges are not exceptions. They are guarantees. Adversity is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's often proof that you're pushing boundaries, striving for something significant. Therefore, the ability to navigate these challenges, to adapt to changing conditions, and to bounce back from setbacks, adaptability and resilience, are not just helpful traits. They are essential requirements for sustaining unshakable purpose. Think of the mighty oak tree. It stands tall and strong, but it's not entirely rigid. In high winds, it bends. Its roots run deep, providing stability, but its branches sway, yielding to the force of the storm without breaking. Rigidity leads to snapping. Adaptability allows for endurance. Similarly, holding rigidly to a specific plan, a specific method, or a specific expectation can make you brittle in the face of unexpected change. Unshakable purpose doesn't mean unshakable plans. Your core why remains constant, your North Star, but the how often needs to flex and evolve. Adaptability is the willingness to learn to pivot to find new solutions when the old ones no longer work. It's recognizing that the landscape changes, markets shift, technologies evolve, circumstances alter. Those who cling stubbornly to outdated methods or refuse to adjust their course are left behind. Those who embrace change, who see it as an opportunity to innovate and grow, are the ones who thrive. Henry Ford, despite his initial genius with the Model T and the assembly line, later faced challenges when he rigidly refused to adapt his offerings, as competitors introduced more variety and features. It was a painful lesson in the necessity of adapting to changing market demands. Contrast this with companies and individuals who constantly scan the horizon, anticipate shifts, and proactively adjust their strategies. They treat change not as a threat, but as a constant companion, a catalyst for improvement. Resilience. The partner to adaptability is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. It's the inner strength that allows you to get back up after being knocked down, to persevere when faced with failure, rejection, or loss. It's not about avoiding punches, it's about taking them and staying in the fight. Resilience is forged in the fires of adversity. Each challenge overcome builds your capacity to handle the next one. Consider Abraham Lincoln again. His life was a masterclass in resilience. He faced numerous political defeats, personal tragedies, and the immense burden of leading a nation through civil war. He suffered periods of profound depression, yet he never lost sight of his ultimate purpose. He absorbed setbacks, learned from them, and found the inner fortitude to keep moving forward. His resilience wasn't about being impervious to pain. It was about enduring it, integrating it, and using it to fuel his resolve. His legacy is inseparable from his ability to withstand and overcome immense hardship. Building resilience involves several key elements. It requires managing your mindset, reframing setbacks as learning opportunities, focusing on what you can control, maintaining a realistic yet hopeful perspective. It involves cultivating strong support systems, friends, family, mentors who can offer encouragement and perspective during tough times. It involves self-care, prioritizing physical health, managing stress and allowing time for recovery, and crucially, it circles back to your purpose. When your why is strong enough, you can endure almost any how. Purpose provides the meaning that makes suffering bearable and perseverance possible. Don't fear challenges. Embrace them as opportunities to strengthen your adaptability and resilience. View mistakes not as indictments of your worth, but as tuition paid for valuable lessons. When you fall, don't stay down wallowing in defeat. Analyze what happened, extract the learning, adjust your approach, and get back up faster each time. This cycle of action, setback, learning, adaptation, and renewed action is the engine of progress. It's how mountains are climbed, oceans are crossed, and legacies are built. The storms will come. Your ability to bend without breaking, to adapt your course while holding true to your purpose, and to rise again after every fall. That is what will ensure your journey continues ever forward. This constant cycle of action, adaptation, and resilience highlights another fundamental truth. The journey towards your legacy is a journey of continuous learning. The moment you believe you know it, the moment you stop seeking new knowledge and insights, is the moment you begin to stagnate. The world is constantly evolving, and to remain relevant, effective, and impactful, you must commit to being a lifelong learner. Purpose may provide the direction and discipline the engine, but learning provides the map, the upgrades, the essential intelligence to navigate the increasingly complex terrain ahead. It's not just about formal education, it's about cultivating an insatiable curiosity, a willingness to question assumptions, and a hunger for understanding. It's about actively seeking out new perspectives, skills, and information that can refine your approach, enhance your abilities, and deepen your impact. Think of the most influential figures throughout history. They were rarely complacent in their knowledge. Benjamin Franklin, a polymath of astounding breadth, was relentlessly curious, constantly experimenting, reading, and engaging in discourse to expand his understanding of the world. Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate who rose from poverty, attributed much of his success to his love of reading and learning, famously funding thousands of libraries to provide others with the same opportunity for self-education. They understood that knowledge is power, not just static knowledge, but the active pursuit and application of new learning. In today's rapidly changing world, continuous learning is more critical than ever. Skills become obsolete faster. New technologies emerge constantly. Industries are disrupted overnight. Relying solely on what you learned yesterday is a recipe for being left behind tomorrow. You must actively invest in your own growth. Read books and articles outside your immediate field. Listen to podcasts, take courses, attend workshops, seek out mentors and experts who can challenge your thinking and accelerate your learning curve. Equally important is learning from experience, both successes and failures. After every significant project, every achievement, every setback, take time to reflect. What worked well, what didn't? What were the key lessons? How can you apply those lessons moving forward? This deliberate practice of reflection transforms raw experience into usable wisdom. Failure in particular is one of the greatest teachers provided you approach it with a learner's mindset. As Edison demonstrated, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's an integral part of the process, providing invaluable data for future attempts. Embrace humility in your learning. Recognize that you don't have all the answers. Be open to feedback, even when it's critical. Seek out diverse perspectives that challenge your own biases. The wisest people are often those who are most aware of the vastness of their own ignorance. This intellectual humility keeps the mind open and receptive to growth. Learning also fuels innovation and creativity. By exposing yourself to new ideas, different disciplines, and unfamiliar ways of thinking, you create fertile ground for novel connections and breakthrough insights. Combining knowledge from seemingly unrelated fields often leads to the most powerful innovations. Keep your mind curious, cross-pollinate your ideas, and don't be afraid to explore uncharted intellectual territory. Make learning a deliberate habit, integrated into your daily or weekly routine. Dedicate specific time slots for reading, studying, or skill development. See it not as a chore, but as an investment in your most valuable asset, your own mind and capabilities. This commitment to lifelong learning ensures that you not only keep pace with change, but that you stay ahead of the curve, constantly refining your purpose, sharpening your skills, and increasing your capacity to build a meaningful and lasting legacy. It ensures that your journey is one of constant growth, evolution, and expanding impact. And so we arrive back at the beginning, yet transformed, back to the ticking clock, but hearing it differently now. Not as a sound of pressure or impending doom, but as a rhythm of opportunity, the steady beat of the present moment pregnant with possibility. Your legacy isn't some distant monument. It's the structure you are building right now with the tools you've been honing, a cultivated mindset grounded in belief, sharpened by clarity, illuminated by vision, anchored by unshakable purpose. It's fueled by disciplined action, sustained by gratitude, fortified by adaptability and resilience, and constantly refined through continuous learning. These are not abstract concepts. They are active choices available to you in this moment and the next and the next. The choice to guard your thoughts, to believe in your potential. The choice to define what truly matters, to visualize the future you intend to create. The choice to commit to your why, your core purpose, the reason you rise each day. The choice to take the necessary action, however small, however imperfect, and to build the discipline that sustains it. The choice to appreciate the journey, to learn from setbacks, to adapt to change, and to never stop growing. Your life is the canvas, your purpose is the vision, your actions are the brushstrokes. What masterpiece will you create? What story will your life tell? Will it be a story of hesitation, of potential unrealized, of a life lived in the shallow waters of conformity and fear? Or will it be an epic tale, a story of courage, of conviction, of challenges overcome, of contributions made? A story of a life lived fully, deeply, authentically, on purpose. The figures we admire, the Edisons, the Lincolns, the Carnegies, the Fords, the Disneys, they were not cut from a different cloth. They were human beings who faced doubt, fear, and failure just like you. What set them apart was their refusal to be defined by those limitations. They harnessed the power of their minds, committed to a compelling purpose, took relentless action, and persevered through adversity. They understood that their legacy wasn't predetermined. It was earned day by day, choice by choice. Your potential is immense, far greater than you likely realize. Within you lies the capacity for extraordinary things. But potential energy must be converted into kinetic energy. It requires activation. It demands engagement. It calls for you to step fully into the arena of your life, armed with purpose, driven by conviction. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for conditions to be perfect. Don't wait for fear to subside. The time is now. The power is yours. Embrace the weight and the wonder of this moment. Recognize that every decision, every action ripples outward, shaping not only your future, but the future of those you touch. Live with intention, act with courage, serve with passion, fail forward, learn constantly, love deeply, give generously, forgive quickly, and above all, hold fast to that unshakable purpose that resonates within your soul. Let it be your guide, your strength, your constant companion. The ticking clock is not an adversary. It's an invitation to live fully, to contribute meaningfully, to become the person you were meant to be, to build something that lasts, something that matters. Your legacy is not written for you. It is written by you. Pick up the pen, grip it firmly, and write a magnificent story. Your legacy begins now. Live with unshakable purpose.